Abhyam vina na pashyanti siddha swantastham ishwaram Nana purana nigamagama sammutam yat Ramayane nigaditam kvachidanyatopi Swanta sukhaya tulasi raghunatgatha Bhasha nibandhamati manjulamatanothi Bhasha nibandhamati manjulamatanothi Hari Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Ramachandra ki jai. Okay, so now we are seeing this Rama Gita. I was telling to our people in the mandir just a couple of days ago, just to remember and put everything in context in your life. All you need are two words from Shastras. How two words will put your whole life into perspective. Two words will guide your whole journey of life. What are these two words? First word, moksha. If you forget this word, you forgot human life. Really, the animals don't have the privilege of thinking of this word. If you forget this word, the whole journey and purpose of human life is gone. Moksha, sometimes called mukti. In English, liberation, enlightenment, freedom. Second word, see, only two words to guide this whole human life. Oh, how wonderful our rishis have captured everything in two words. Second word, sadhana. Oh, they know other thing. Everything is fit right here only. That mukti word is connected to all human goals and all human aspirations and everything. See, look here. When we say the word mukti, if you want your chair, see, you are sitting on a chair right now, right? Suppose you want to armrest on your chair like this, because there's no armrest, your chair just like that. So armless. You want armrest. The moment that desire comes in your mind for an armrest, that is an indication of mukti only. You have not thought about it. That proves that you want mukti. I'll show you. Why are you wanting armrest? Because right now, the chair is uncomfortable. I'm not saying, I'm just giving an example. I don't know if your chair is uncomfortable. But suppose, right? Hypothetical case. Suppose you want that armrest. That means what? That means your chair is uncomfortable. So you want some comfort. Correct or not? Right, first point. If it is uncomfortable, that is dukkha. If you want comfort, that is sukha. So what you want, what all human beings want, yesterday we saw that, sukha. Isn't it? Second thing, how much sukha does a human being want? You see, unlimited. Unlimited sukha is mukti. Bas? Human being doesn't want limited sukha. You see, if we suppose 365 days in a year, right? 364 days, we put you in a 5-star hotel. 364 days, treat you the best treatment you can ever get. And that last day we give you a good beating. Anybody would want? You want 365 days? Sukha, see? That is mukti. Really speaking, every creature only wants mukti. So there's one, see, I've told you that mukti word is connected to all human aspirations and desires and longings and craving and calm and whatever we have. All of it is connected to mukti. And then that is goal. There is only means to reach goal. All means now, all spiritual practices, whatever type of spiritual practice is given in whichever religion, any belief system, any superstition, anything people have, all of it is some form, people are trying a means to get out of this dukkha and to get sukha. So the two words cover everything actually. Mukti and sadhana. Our rishis have given very nice systems of sadhana, spiritual practice. You just have to follow one of them, whichever you like. I told her that we have in Hinduism best sadhana system. What? Buffet style. All sadhanas are lined up here. You walk down the line. What you like, you take. What you don't like, you leave it. Our Hindu sadhana is best. In other religions, there's no such thing. You see Muslim people pray. Everybody have to bend simultaneously. If everybody bend and you are sitting there, somebody will... Isn't it? Have you seen it? All people bending? Same time. You ever see this in Hinduism? Never. You don't want to bend, don't bend. What is that? You want to bend and do yoga and entangle yourself and all, no problem. You don't want to do, you do something else. Yeah. Open. So now, what we are doing here, in a class like this is not some sort of physical sadhana. We are not doing any physical sadhana here. We are doing vichar. Vichar means we are thinking. Because human being is not only a physical being or an emotional being, he is also an intellectual being. So you can do sadhana at these 3 levels. Physical sadhana means you go and do yoga, or go there and do seva, isn't it? So sometimes you might do that in this camp also. But in this class, it is intellectual sadhana, means you reflect, contemplate, think, do vichar, ruminate, ponder, like that. So, this is one type of, one class of sadhana. So now we started yesterday. Lakshmana asked to Bhagavan Ram 5 questions. Kaho jnana viraga arumaya, kaho subhagati, karahu jahi daya. Means you tell that bhakti by which I will get your compassion. So jnana, vairagya, in knowledge, this passion, and maya, and bhakti. And the last one, Ishvara Jiva Bheda Kahu. You tell the difference between Ishvara and Jiva. That was number 5. So Lakshmana wants to understand. The human being first has to understand. This is a very, very important thing. You wouldn't believe how important this is in human existence. That is actually the very indication of human existence. What? The ability to understand. which the animal kingdom doesn't have. This goes very, very deep into our philosophical tradition. Please pay attention to this. The ability to understand puts an onus on a human being which no other creature has. Because by virtue of the fact that we have an intellect, the onus on the human being becomes more demanding. And what I mean by that, because you have an intellect, you have a duty to know. It is not merely a privilege. It is not merely an opportunity. Please see this thing. You don't merely have a privilege or an opportunity to know. You have a duty to know. I want you to change your perspective on this whole thing. And this is what the rishis demanded of us. And actually, you may not have thought about it, but society also places that onus on all of us. We have a duty to be informed. You have a duty to know. You can't wait for somebody to inform you. You have to seek the information for yourself. I'll give you a simple example. See, when you drive out on the street here, right? That's street. Right now, let us say there are two lanes. One lane going that way and one lane going that way. Suppose while this camp is going on, the city corporation decides that we'll make this street one way. It will go that way. And you go around like that. You can't go back this way. While we are here, we don't know because we are in this camp. So they came and they made that street one way. Then you pull out, and you turn the other way. And there's a police officer waiting there. Well, you're going the wrong way on a one way. One wife calls up that husband and says, "Hey, be careful, I'm seeing live on the news. One crazy person, he's driving the opposite direction on the highway. Be careful." That husband said, "What? Opposite direction? Everybody's driving opposite direction on the highway." This fellow happened to be the crazy person who is driving wrong. Anyway, so you come out, then you go the other way. And the police officer catches you. And then you tell, you come before a judge, you say, "Your Honor, look, when that retreat started, that was two-way. I was in retreat. Now when I came out, I did not know." What is his statement? "I did not know." That is no defense before any court, in any jurisdiction, anywhere in the world. That is not a defense. "I did not know" is not a defense. Suppose somebody steals this thing and comes and sells it to you. They steal it and you come and sell it to you. You did not know he stole it. You did not know that it is stolen property. That is not a defense in front of a court. The moment you are caught with stolen property, you are part of the conspiracy. You know that, and this is law. Once you are caught with stolen property, the judge does not care where you got it or how you got it. Once you are caught with that, you are responsible. It means what? You had a duty to know it was stolen, but you failed in the duty. You had a duty to know that the road changed to one way. And not knowing does not save from punishment. Dasharath Maharaj did not know that he shot a boy. He thought he was shooting a deer, correct or not? But did Dasharath Maharaj have to face the consequences of that action or not? Terrible consequences. Not knowing or ignorance is not a defense, not in a court and not in spirituality also. We have a duty to know. So when we have an intellect, it is not merely that I have the privilege of knowing or I have the opportunity of knowing. It is not merely that. It is more than that. I have a duty to know. And therefore, since the jiva does not perform this duty, does not fulfill this duty of knowing what in our case, knowing self. The jiva does not fulfill this duty, then what? He suffers punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. Again and again birth, again and again death. Because when we don't fulfill that duty, that is called papa karma, you will suffer for that. So we suffer. Again birth, again death. And people keep telling, oh what? Suffering, Swamiji, my life is so happy. I'm not suffering. We are all suffering only. We have learned to accept the suffering and continue. That is all. You see? You just have to give some thought to that. So, what we are doing in these few classes and all, we are fulfilling that duty of knowing. We have to know. And this is an intellectual thing, you see. It is not something that you do, it's something that you know only. Doing is the other part of Hinduism. Now, we saw yesterday how Bhagavan Ram first chose to explain the word Maya to Lakshmana. Because that is the cause for all human suffering and everything. That Maya, if it is understood properly, then we need not go on. But in one day to understand Maya and to internalize is not so easy. So we have to go on studying, go on thinking, go on reflecting, go on pondering. So now next word Bhagavan will attempt now. See, in the word Maya, Bhagavan used several chopais to explain Maya. 2-3 chopais. And bhakti, he will answer last. They also use many chopais to explain bhakti. Gyan, he uses half a chopai. Vairagya, he uses half a chopai. And Jiva Ishvara Bheda, he uses 1 doha. For these 3, briefly, very, very briefly, he explained. But one more thing about Bhagavan. Don't think because he only used half a chopai that he didn't say anything. He says an ocean in those few words. Now, what is it? Gyan. This is the first question that was asked by Lakshmana. Now, you know where we reached yesterday. So, Gyan and Vairagya, he explains together in one chopai, half each. Jnana and Vairagya. So we will sing that chopai now. That is Jnana Mana Jaha Ekahu Nahi. You see it? I hope you found that. Page 13. 38. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jaya Jaha ekahuna, ekahunahi. Gyan, what exactly is Gyan? Tulasi says, Bhagavan Ram is telling, where there is no man. Gyan is where there is no man. Oh, that also sounds very difficult, no? Second thing, Dekha Brahma Samana Savamahi. And Gyan is two things together, where there is no man and where one sees Brahma existing equally in all things. That thing is called as Gyan, where I see Brahma, the absolute reality, existing in all things. So these are two things now. Two ways of looking at Gyan. So now let us see first way of looking at Gyan. He says where there is no man. And not man means man, no, not man. American man. Man. They have to say man like Caribbean people. Yeah, man. That kind of man. So this word man is very, very interesting thing. It's from this same word Abhiman. You know Abhiman word? The dhatu for this word in Sanskrit is ma. Ma means to measure. Ma. To measure. Now, how the word comes, I'll tell you. Yeah, just imagine, huh? Ocean, you know how much water is there in ocean, right? Big ocean, so limitless water is there. Suppose, let us say all this is ocean. So there will be water everywhere. Suppose this much water over here, 2 inches by 2 inches, by 2 inches, he freezes over and it becomes a cube. So now there is a cube in the middle of the ocean. 2 inches by 2 inches by 2 inches, right? Cube. Now, prior to his freezing over, there was one uniform, undifferentiated sheet and body of water, right? Now he froze over and the rest of the water is liquid, but this fellow is now solid. In liquid here he is solid. Now, when this happens, first thing, the rest of the water is H2O and he is also H2O. But what has happened, these 2 inches of H2O, he has now become identifiable and distinguishable from the rest of the water, isn't it? Though his nature has not changed because he's still H2O, but he has now become distinguishable, identifiable, and also measured. Because prior to that, there is no measurement, just one infinite body of water. But now he has become measured, right? Now he has a choice. He has a choice of calling himself, I am H2O. He can tell himself, I am H2O. Or he can forget that he is H2O and he can call himself, my name is Mr. Cube. There are two ways of looking at himself, isn't it? I am H2O, which is truth. Or I am Mr. Cube. If he says, I am H2O, then he is realized soul. If he says, I am Mr. Cube, he is in bondage. He is deluded. Because, really speaking, he is not Mr. Cube. His nature is only H2O, correct or not? So he disidentified with his true nature of H2O and now identified with Nama Rupa. Now he says, I am cube. Other thing is, he is never disconnected from the rest of the water. Because he is floating in the middle of a limitless body of water, isn't it? He is never disconnected. His nature did not change also, but he is feeling both things. I am Mr. Cube. And I am this size only. He has become measured. The moment he identifies with his measured status, that thing is called man. Because ma means to measure in Sanskrit. So while he was immeasurable before, now he has become measured, so to speak, because he is still part of the whole ocean, isn't it? But he holds on to his measured status. When we are holding on to our measured status, this body, mind, intellect, which is small, forgetting that we are connected to the infinite existence, as long as we are holding on to that measured status, little body, mind, intellect, that is called as man. You got that thing? All of us take ourselves to be this small little body. Existence. If you go deeper, atoms, electrons, protons, neutrons, quarks, strings, neutrinos, whatever you go down, energy, the last thing you can go down to is existence. So the universe made up of existence means what? This BMI also is made up of existence. But I am not identified with the limitless existence which makes up this BMI. I am identified only with the Nama, Rupa. So I am identified with the measured existence. Holding on to that measured existence, forgetting my immeasurable status, that thing is called as man. What is Abhiman now? Abhiman means one step further. Not only I hold on to my measured status, but I also now think I am better than the rest also now. That thing is called as Abhiman. That's one step further now. To hold on to a measured status is still wrong. But to feel this measured status now is better than the rest. That is, he's gone from BA to MA. First he thinks I'm different from the rest. Now he thinks I'm better than the rest. That is called Abhiman. So here, Bhagavan says, Gyan is where there is no man. Meaning to say, I disidentify with this measured status, which is only brought about by Nama, Rupa. Disidentify with this measured status and identify with my immeasurable existence, which stretches infinitely in every direction. I am part of the infinite existence of this universe. But this man is absent. I disidentify with this measured being and I become identified with the immeasurable existence. That is called as Gyan. This is the first what you call pada of the Chaupai. Every Chaupai will have 4 padas. So the first pada explains it. Gyan, man, ekaho, not even an iota. Ekaho means an iota. Not an iota of man. Second, now, Deka Brahma Samana Sava Mahi. Gyan is where he is able to see one Brahma existing equally in all things in the universe. Tulasi was a very, very ardent student of the Bhagavad Gita. So many places in this Ramayana, some verses and all, he copies almost verbatim from Bhagavad Gita. So this pada rings of a very, very nice verse in chapter 5, I think it comes. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Shunichaya Vashapakecha Pandita Samadarshina. A wise person is one who has Gyan, is one who can see the one absolute Brahman existing equally in all things. What that means is, I'm able to see the existence rather than see mere Nama, Rupa. Means to look beyond Nama, Rupa and see. See, children do that. Suppose there is, in those people who do clay pottery, they take clay and they make pots. Sometimes they make little figurines of Buddha, or they make a giraffe or an elephant and a dog out of clay. When you go in that shop, from one standpoint, there is only one thing, which is clay. From another standpoint, there are many things, isn't it? From the standpoint of Nama Rupa, there is dog and elephant and Buddha and pot and cup. So from the standpoint of Nama Rupa, there are many objects in that shop. From the standpoint of the fundamental material, there is only one thing, because whatever you touch in that shop, you are touching only clay. Correct or not? You cannot touch more than one thing, because the whole thing is made of clay. One fellow was visiting Europe, and his friend told him, come. I must take you to a specialty shop. What specialty shop? Oh, this is a chocolate shop. In this shop, everything is made from chocolate. Chocolate dog, chocolate elephant, chocolate giraffe, chocolate lizard, chocolate cockroach, chocolate anything. And the fellow told, he said, take, try this chocolate cockroach. That fellow took a bite and he chewed. Tastes like an ordinary cockroach to me. But in the shop, really, if everything is made from cockroach, Nama Rupa is of no consequence, isn't it? Everything is made from chocolate. Yes. Oh, that child woke up everybody. If everything is made from chocolate, Nama Rupa is of no consequence. It will all taste same only. It doesn't matter if it's cockroach or lizard. So, only children will take up a clay dog, and the next one will take a clay cat. And this boy will say, my dog is stronger than your cat. You superimpose strength on the dog, isn't it? The dog and cat made from exactly the same thing. So here now, everything in this universe is made from the same building block. In Sanskrit, that building block is called as Sat. From Sat, Chit, Anand. That is the word. The Sanskrit word for existence is Sat. It is the final building block of the universe. To see that Sat existing equally in also, Bhagavan Shri Krishna tells to Arjuna, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane. In a learned Brahmana, in a learned and humble Brahmana. And Bhagavan Shri Krishna is also very, very wise message to put there. In a humble Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane. Learned, humble Brahmana. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane, Gavi in a cow, Hastini in an elephant, Shunichaiva in a dog, Shwapakecha in a dog eater also. So it doesn't matter what name and form the being takes. It is still same, one Sat, one existence which is existing in all of them. To see that Sat is called Brahma here. In our Chopai, Sat. Because Brahma is described as Sat, Chit, Anand. To see that Brahma existing equally in all things, this is the second explanation of the word Gyan. To be able to see that thing. Now see how profound is the knowledge of the Upanishads. This is Upanishadic Jnana, Bhagavad Gita and all of this coming. How profound is the knowledge of the Upanishads and the Gita and all, and how shallow is our life. The moment we see any other person or any other thing, quickly we get consumed by the Nama Rupa, and then we start making judgments and this and that. Isn't it? We say, oh, this person looks, I think they're Korean, you know. Korean person. Or Chinese. And these all Korean and Chinese and Japanese and all, they all look same. You could never tell who is who. You see one, you see? We say like that. And they say about us also. Yeah? You see in one, you see? All. So which level are we existing at when we are living like this in the world? Nama Rupa only, yes. We are only living at level of Nama Rupa. And based on that Nama Rupa, we make all sorts of judgments. Hare Rama, he looks Chinese. I feel he must be surviving only on snakes. From Nama Rupa we go to something else now, isn't it? Yeah, what he eats and how it's his lifestyle. And they live in this part of the city. Quickly our mind starts going to all of those things. You see? So our existence is always at the most superficial levels, forgetting all the fundamental things. What is actually being demanded of us here is to really take our mind, take our understanding, our attention, take our resting place to a more fundamental level, because the world lives at a very superficial level. All the flimsy things only we pay attention to. So the demand of Gyan is to really take that mind to a more fundamental level. You know, these Upanishads and this comes from the Upanishad I told you, which is the Vasudeva Sarvamiti, Gita tells. Isha Vasyamidam Sarvam is all Ishvara, all reality only. So this actually is the panacea for all world problems, really. The Hindu scriptures have the panacea for world problems. But nobody will take it. Other scriptures do not have this thing. You please understand this thing. This is not to be found in no scripture of the world. It is to be found only in the Hindu scriptures. In the other scriptures of the world, what is taught? You follow me. If you follow the devil, you are in heaven. You have to follow me. And therefore you follow the devil, you are going to hell. Not only that, I get a license to kill you also. Because you are following something else. There is no such thing in Hinduism. Bhagavan is telling Gita. See, Saman means see equally that one reality. This is the word he is giving here. See equally one reality in all things. Therefore he is telling in Bhagavad Gita, Samoham sarvabhuteshu name dveshyosti na priyaha. I exist equally in all beings. And I have no hatred for this one or love for that one. I am equal to that is why he lets a criminal also breathe. He might breathe better than us. If he had hatred for the criminal, if Bhagavan had hatred for the criminal, all he has to do is pull the breath, isn't it? Pull the breath. How do you think that criminals are not required in this world? That if criminals are required also, that's why Bhagavan let them breathe. You have not thought about it, huh? Criminals are just as essential as saints and sadhus. You just think, huh? Suppose there was no crime in the world. You think along with me, I'll show you. Suppose there was no crime in the world. Then what? First we fire all the police officers. How many millions will? Because there's no crime. Then nobody will commit any crime, so we don't need any army also. Because nobody will do any wrong thing. So we fire the whole army. Then in this country, the whole country is being sustained by production of guns and ammunition only. So we close down all the guns and ammunition factories and everything, because nobody will commit any crime. Then if nobody will do anything wrong or commit any crime, then we don't need judges and courts and lawyers and that whole law faculty and all that. Close it up. Correct? Then all the traffic lights on the road, and nobody will break the law. When you reach a traffic light, when there's a junction there, you're supposed to stop, isn't it? So everybody will stop. So then the rule is, when you come here, you stop. You don't need anybody to man all of it. In fact, you don't need a traffic light also. People will follow. When I go there, I stop. Look. Okay, go. You will not need a traffic light also. Then you will not, all the people who are producing millions and trillions of locks for your doors, you will not need any locks on your doors and security systems and cameras and all. You fire all those people, close down the factory. What locks? You don't need a door also. Just close the door factory. Now, what I just described to you, what will happen to society?
disintegrate.
Society will disintegrate. Entire society will disintegrate.
Jobless.
Yes. Because everybody tied to everybody else. Whole society will collapse. So tomorrow when you wake up, Prabhu, thank you for the criminal. They keep things going. I tell you, no, you have to really think about it. That is why the indication is in every atom there are positive and negative. Without one, then no atom could proceed. The whole universe is like that. Therefore, with this understanding, how could rishis, how could Bhagavan say, I hate one group and I like one group? Bhagavan says, so samoham sarvabhuteshu, name dveshyosti na priya. No hate or no love. You see? Equal to all beings. Like that. This is what is taught in the Hindu scriptures. In other scriptures, hey, you belong to that group, we damn you to hell forever. You are, yes, useless, we'll damn you. No such thing in Hinduism. So this word saman, this saman word, samoham sarvabhuteshu, saman in this language, is the word. A very, very important word actually. This is why I told you, Hindu scriptures have the panacea, the solution to world problem. Because the world problems are caused only because of this absence of this word. What? This saman word is sama, equal to all being. That word is absent in other traditions, in other scriptures, in other cultures and all. In fact, they breed the other word. Inequality. They're some better than others. Some people say they are the chosen people. Have you heard that thing?
Yes.
We are the chosen. What about the rest? Not chosen. What is this thing? That is what is causing all this world problem. See, today the two biggest religions in the world, they are killing each other because he's thinking he's right and he's thinking he's right. And we are caught in middle. Correct or not? We are caught in the middle because the word is absent. One is always thinking I'm better. Man, we were seeing just now, man, Abhiman. He thinks I am better. This fellow is less. Each think the same about themselves. We are better. And the Hindus have also always taught, anyway, no better, no worse. Every being and every creature in this world is a manifestation of one Brahma, one reality, what you call as Sat. So, dekha, to see. Brahma, the one Sat, one existence. Samana, savamahi, pervading equally all beings. This is the solution for world problem or not? All the fighting and killing and everything which is going on. Do you know? At one time it was declared that natives in this country and slaves did not have souls. It was declared. And there was one fellow in Mexico whose name was Cortez. He had taken a sankalpa. Every day he will kill 1,000 natives. Where's Saman? The person has feelings and everything just like you. He doesn't see that equality. All problems in the world is caused by the absence of this seeing equally. And the solution therefore is right there in quarter of a chopai. World problems, solution is in quarter of a chopai, but nobody pays attention to that thing. What a wonderful thing. Dekh Brahma Samana Savamahi. And that goes everywhere, I tell you. You have to always see that at the micro level and at the macro level also. In your own relationships and in your own family life and everything, you have to see also. You think your view is always better than your spouse's view. Isn't it? He's shaking his head, no. I don't think my view is better than my wife's view. So that husband and wife, both of them, wife is saying, I am right. Husband is saying, I am right. Wife, I am right. Husband, I am right. And that is always going on like that. Then that argument went on for such a long time. Then that wife said, okay, take hai. Thero, you stop. I will tell you a plan. The husband said, okay, tell plan. I will admit I am wrong. Wife is telling, I will admit I am wrong if you admit I am right. Kya baat hai? What a plan there. I will admit I am wrong if you admit I am right. The husband shook his head for a minute there, He said, okay, you go first. She said, I am wrong. He said, you are right. Well, that argument started again,
But then he did get stuck.
Again, the whole thing started. Anyway, you see, because I always feel, I am not saying that in the same way, I have the feeling I am right and my answer is a legitimate answer and my view is a legitimate view. You have to also think the other person is thinking the same way. Yes, the other person is thinking the same way. This thing has, so this Saman word I'm telling you, Bhagavan uses this Sama word from beginning of Gita to the end. Sama, Sukha Dukhe Same Kritva Lava Lava Jaya Sama. Sama is the 7 case. There, Sama everywhere. Samatvam yoga uchyate, he says. This is yoga. To keep that equality and balance and that equilibrium and all that. You always see that balance. My view is just, the other person's view is just as important as my view. And your view is only a view. A view is only a view. That is a relative thing. The whole world is relative or not? You are right only from a certain perspective only. Like that. So this is some word, keeping a very, very big word in Gita. And Bhagavan Ram is using it here for Lakshmana. Saman, Savamahi. I tell you, each one of these words, they deserve a lot of reflection. Each word itself. Saman word. How its application is ubiquitous everywhere. In all things. So now, Gyan, these two things now. The person who understands like this. Gyan manajah ekau nahi. The one who does not hold that measured status, which is nama rupa. Who does not only hold on to that, but identifies with his immeasurable status. That is called a Gyan. Second thing, Gyan, who is able to see now that one existence, one Brahma, equally in all things, existing equally in all things. You wouldn't believe how rishis have such wonderful disposition towards this world. Because the rishi sees, one sadhu, sant, he was sitting in Vrindavan, his name was Sanatana Goswami. Sitting in Vrindavan, I was feeling a little bit hungry. He got up and he walked around and he begged. So somebody gave him a little bit of atta. Atta, you know? That flour. Mm-hmm. And he came back to where he was sitting. And he lit a little fire there. And he made some dough. And he was putting on that fire and making chapati. That was his food. So he made one chapati and then he kept it on the side. And he was making second one. And then when he looked on this side, he saw that first one was missing. But the sadhus, they are happy all the time. The guy is missing. So he made the second one and put it there. Then he was making that third one, and again second one was missing. Then when he lifted his head like this and looked at, he saw a dog was running away with that chapati. Then he realized the dog had taken it. And there was a little dibba like this there, right there. He took up a little dibba and he ran after that dog, shouting, "Hey, Prabhu, you wait! How you will eat that dry chapati with no ghee? Come, wait, I'll give you some ghee before you." It's a dry thing you eat. I see. That means to say, how he is able to see one Brahma existing in me, in the chapati, in the dog also. How poor Bhagwan will eat that chapati like that? You'll choke. Wait for a little bit of ghee. Like that the saints and sages have ever seen. Have you seen the story of Bhagwan Sri Ramana Maharshi? How nicely all the animals used to come and just be there with him. Because he had the same view towards them. This is Brahma only. Reality. God only. You see? All the great sages lived this type of life. Seeing one Brahman in all. There's another sheet. Now I said the word Brahman. Now here Brahma. Brahma and Brahman are one and same. There is no difference in those words. It's just a grammatical thing. Brahma, that is different thing. See, that was ending in A. Then Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. He is responsible for manifesting this world, and that's a different thing. Brahma, ending in A. When we say Brahma, ending in A, and Brahman, those two are one and same. Please get that, otherwise that makes confusion for a lot of people. Brahman and Brahma, they are one and same. Brahmaji, that is different. So here, to see that one Brahman or that one Brahma existing equally in all things, the world has to come to this understanding, otherwise we will destroy ourselves. In fact, we are fast down that road to destroy ourselves, because we don't see Brahman in nature, we don't see in the trees and the rivers, and that is why Hindus used to worship, we still worship. Tell me one thing in this world which we don't worship. We worship everything. Stones, rats, cows, snakes, trees, rivers, stars, moon, everything, isn't it? What we don't worship? We worship every single thing. That is why we have a deity for the space. Dig Devata. We have a deity for? Yes, everything you name. Because we are capable of seeing that one reality in all things. If anybody has reverence for all things like that, but how we'll destroy the environment, how we'll destroy the ecological system, how we'll go on killing whales, how we'll go on deforesting the whole earth. We have lost that vision. The species, the civilization has lost that vision. So the world is, and it's taught by many religions also, the world is there to ravage. The world is there for the taking, for human beings' enjoyment. Take, and destroy everything. The divinity in all things has escaped our eyes. The line is so... This is Gyan. Why you have such all great knowledge about all nuclear physics and this and that? That is not Gyan. That is actually leading to more and more destruction, isn't it? Yeah. This really is Gyan, where I have this understanding of the divinity pervading all things. Now what is there in second line? Second line says, second line of Chaupai, the other half of the Chaupai. It talks about Vairagya. Vairagya. It says, Kahyatat Sukh Parama Viragi. My dear, he is called as a supreme Vairagi. Vairagi means detached person. Vairagi. See, in this Ramayana, Tulasi uses 3 words. See, pay attention to these 3 words now. One word is called as Rag. That is the attachment that will get rid of other attachments. Anurag. A strong attachment to my Bhagwan. Like how Mirabai is attached to Krishna. See, that type, like Anurag, that is. So these are the 3 words. So now what is our problem? Our problem is Rag. A lot of attachment to this thing, that thing, the other thing. Then, what we are supposed to have? Instead of rag, birag. So one who has birag, he called biragi. That is the word which he used there. Biragi, who's given up all of this attachment. And after I have given up attachment to... See, when you're walking up a stairway, right? And your foot has gone to the upper rung or treader. One foot has gone to the upper treader. Then your other foot leaves the lower treader, isn't it? Yeah. So this is the technique, it said, that we are supposed to use to detach ourselves from this world and attach to Bhagavan. First, we attach to Bhagavan, the upper treader. Then the foot can leave this lower treader. You see, if you haven't planted your foot there, then you can't leave this lower one. You see. So that is why that's why Tulasi Ramayana says, Binu satsanga vivek na hoi. Without this satsang, it is trying to plant the foot on the higher treader. Plant the foot on the higher treader through satsang. Then we are able to leave all of this. It is very, very important thing to find ourselves in this satsang. Even Rama prays for satsang, imagine. Rama prays in Uttarakhand in the same Ramayana. Oh, he tells to Bhagavan Shiva, Bar bar baramago. Again and again I ask you for one boon. Bar bar baramago. Harishi dehu Shri Rang. Padasa roja anapayani. Bhagati sada satsanga. Who Rama is praying? Lord Shiva is praying to Rama. Lord Shiva comes there and Rama wins the battle. And he prayed. Bar bar baramago ke Shri Rang is there. Let me have satsang all the time. Somebody asked Kabir Daji Maharaj, Sahib, if you have opportunity to go to Vaikunt, you will go? Kabir Sahib said, I will not go. Why? You will not go to Vaikunt? No, I will not go. Why? When you go there, Kshir Sagar is there. Then Ananta Sheshanag is there. Bhagwan Vishnu is. And then Lakshmiji is pressing his feet. Huh? Nobody could go there. Nobody is allowed to go close there. Why I will go there? I cannot have satsang. Here on this earth, I will have satsang. So then let me stay right here. No, that way I could not leave it. This is so many places in our Shastra. Again and again, satsang is spoken about very important thing. Because through that satsang, we are able to slowly plant one of our foot on the higher step so that we can leave the lower one, So, this is the process by which we go from rag to birag. In satsang only, we will hear all of this. See, you go to work to your job every day, na? You ever heard any of this? Because that's not satsang. You will not hear this. Even if you start, somebody will tell you, in the workplace, you cannot bring your religion. They will tell. In this country, in school also, no religion. Workplace, no religion. So, by this satsang, we are able to go from rag to birag. And we are able to achieve anurag. That is the idea. So now, while doing that, we also have to give, see, the next line is telling about things which we have to think. We have to think about these things. I told you, thinking is a very, very big part of this religion. See, the human being of this spiritual tradition, The human being has a physical part. This is physical part, right? Called body. With physical part, you can do certain things. You can only do it physically. I can only lift this with my body. You know, I cannot lift with my heart. I cannot say, oh, bottle, I love you, please lift. It will not lift. I can only lift with the physical part of my being. Then the other part of my being is the emotional part. It's called a heart. I can love. And love other beings. I can have so many different emotions in my heart. Emotional part of the being. And the last part of the being is intellectual part. 3 parts of our personality we have. And the 3 parts have to be developed equally. You can't say, no. I am an intellectual type person. I don't do any work. Then don't eat also. Because that is physical. You don't eat with your heart. We have to utilize all 3. No stool can stand up with 2 legs. Have you seen that? A stool can stand up with 2 legs. It needs 3 or more. This personality really cannot function with only 2. And it is this intellectual part of the personality which is really neglected. We are very good at emotions and feelings and all of that. I feel to eat this, and I feel to eat that, and I feel to eat the other thing. That's a feeling only, isn't it? I feel to have ice cream. I go have. I feel to have coffee. I go have. I feel to anything I feel. We're just going by feeling. We don't think whether this thing is good for me or not. The species doesn't think whether it is good or not. We just go by feeling only. And then the body follows. The physical part follows. So here now, in this last pada, which is dealing with Vairagya, a lot of thinking has to be done. I just told you in the beginning, we be in satsang. That will help us to leave the lower rung of raga and reach the higher rung of anurag by becoming virag. But here, in this last pada, trina samasiddhiti guna tyagi. So tyagi means a renunciate. A renunciate of 2 things are given there. Teen guna, 3 gunas, means a renunciate of the 3 gunas, and a renunciate of siddhi. Siddhi word is given. The siddhi word means, all these different types of powers which people have. People in this world are always thinking about special types of powers. And so this is for a sadhaka. The idea is a person who is doing sadhana, spiritual practice, on the way, he develops different types of spiritual powers. And that when he develops those spiritual powers, his journey gets stultified. His journey gets broken because he gets caught up with those powers. This is an amazing thing. Once every so often I take groups from Trinidad and we go to Trinidad, people from here also, Canada and all, they join us. We go to India on pilgrimage. So once we are going to that, in that northern area near our Siddhabari ashram, we have that Jwalamukhi form of the Devi. So we were going there. And just a little bit you have to walk up, So I have like 50 people following and I'm going. So then what? But they are following. 2 went into that chai shop there. Few went into that bangle shop there. Another shop, sari shop, some few went there. By the time I reached Jwalamukhi, I was alone. You're going like this, and there's some drop there, everywhere, drop everywhere, and then what is this thing? So, on our path, our journey gets stultified. When I'm going on that journey, some siddhi comes, and then I get sidetracked with that. siddhi, some power, some spiritual power. In fact, every day I hear this. One man called me just now from some other state. He said, Swamiji, while meditating, I am able to know what is going on there. I am able to know what is going on there. Many times I guess he's guessing, he says also, no, correctly. He can tell correctly what is happening there. And if you get caught up with that, you're meditating now, you're supposed to think about the absolute reality. He's thinking about what is going on. One devotee, is a true story. You see Ramakrishna Paramahamsa's writing, you will see he wrote. One devotee went to Ramakrishna Paramahamsa and he told, Guruji, what is this all thing you are doing? You should use your siddhi, your powers, to bring about so much of difference, so much of change and all the powers which you have. All these things you are doing here, this is a useless thing. It is siddhi which is important. Powers, spiritual powers, that is important. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa said, no, this siddhi and all, this is only a hindrance, obstacle on the path of spirituality. This devotee said, nothing. I don't want any of this. I will go and develop siddhi. So he crossed that Ganga from Dakshineshwar, came on the other side. And he went there, and there was a jungle like that. He went and sat in that jungle, and then he sat there for 13 years, like that. Many years, 12, 13 years he sat. And after 12, 13 years of sitting there, he developed siddhi. He could walk on that Ganga. So he walked on the water and came back to Ramakrishna Paramahamsa after so many years. So he said, Guruji, see, look, I sat there and I developed this siddhi. I can walk on the Ganga. And I came here walking. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa said, your 12 years, 13 years of siddhi, it is worth 2 annas. Because if you had paid the boatman 2 annas, he would have brought you here. Useless thing. Only a hindrance. Gurudev used to tell about this siddhi. Don't ever let this siddhis come in your way of your sadhana. That is not the goal of spirituality, to get some siddhi, to know this and know that. Pay 2 anna to the boatman, let him bring you. This siddhi also is connected. When Tulsidaji is writing this word is connected to many other things also. It is connected to the occult sciences. Occult sciences, you know, the people who do all sorts of magic things, tricks and all this type of voodoo. And have you heard voodoo thing? And all these superstitious sciences which people, to be able to leave all of these things. There's a lot of you know, I was just really had a big shock of my life. I was visiting some time ago. This is the furthest point down in South America, in Buenos Aires. So walking in the city, I saw many tents lined up like this. And all of the tents on the sides, they had big posters and pictures of Ganeshji, Saraswati, Lakshmi, all our deities were there on the side of these tents. I thought, wow, such a far place from India. Buenos Aires is the furthest city you can fly from India. And all of these pictures and posters of all the deities, I was so happy also. Then I went there and these tents, and I was totally shocked. You know what? They had all tarot cards. They were reading all people's fortunes and I don't know, all things that they were doing. So in other words, the whole of Hinduism, the whole of this tradition is represented to these people as reading of. That is what you go there to do. And so many people were going into this tent to have their fortune read and to see this and see that. And that is what Hinduism is. What a shocking thing it was. So there is an enormous following for these type of all what we call as superstitious things. There's a wonderful story in one of the historical accounts of some king. I don't remember who it is, but I will tell you now. The astrologer in the king's court was reading the astrological chart of the king. He actually came there to read the astrological chart of the prince, the little boy. So he read, and he told that queen, well, the boy will have this thing, that thing, all this, right? Then she said, well, since you are reading the chart of the prince, why don't you read the chart of the king at the same time? So he read, and then he said, well, that king will die in 1 month. Now, which queen would like to hear that the king will die in 1 month? So the queen started crying. Then the boy started crying. Then the servant started crying. Then everybody else saw these, they started crying. Then everybody started crying. Then the king who was out, he came. He saw the whole kingdom crying. So he asked, what happened? Well, this one said, I don't know, I saw that one crying, so I am crying now. Try to trace this crying. He traced this crying from one to the next. Then finally he reached the queen. Then he asked, why are you crying? She said, because this astrologer told that you will die in 1 month. Naturally, which queen wants the king to die? So he called that astrologer. King called the astrologer. He asked, you read my astrological chart? He said, yes, I read. Oh, what did it say? It said you will die in 1 month. Oh, you read your chart? He said, yes, I read my chart. What did it say? It said, I will live for another 20 years. That king took out his sword and he cut off the head of that astrologer. The whole kingdom stopped crying. The idea is, your chart said you will die in 20 years, and he died the next moment. So the whole civilization has such belief, such strong belief in all of these. Yes, things. And so people do all sorts of occult things to get powers also. Isn't it? This is all called as, they do all sorts of things, amazing things. Siddhi. So he said, look here, we are talking about one pure existence. And we are not talking about a belief system. This whole Siddhi and all thing is rooted in some belief system. Do you exist, or do you believe that you exist? Is that a belief? No. Even if I believe that I exist, first I have to exist, then believe. Correct or not? So my existence is not a belief. My existence is necessary and essential even if I have a belief. It must precede my belief. That is what we are talking about. We are talking about that pure existence, and you are only talking about belief. All these siddhis and powers, and then that is also rooted in desires and karma. I want this and I want that, so I get this power to get that. When really, I am one with everything, one existence. So all these siddhis and all, he said, Trina Sama. Trina Sama means I should consider them to be worth nothing more than a blade of grass. What is a blade of grass worth to you? A blade of grass is what? Zilch. Zero, isn't it? So all siddhis and powers and all such things, occult things and all, is to be worth nothing to us. And Tini Guna, Tyagi, the one who is a renunciate of the three gunas. Three gunas is what makes up all the things in this world. The three gunas make up all the things in this world. And these three gunas which make up everything, sattva, rajas and tamas, we are so attached to things in this world, all things. And the human beings especially, I do not know how this species has become so attached to money. I really have not given enough thought to that, Why the species has become so... We feel money is our security. Money can never be the security for anybody. Please see that. In fact, I see that every day. Money is really not the security for anything. Alright, now I will stop here. This same three gunas. In next class we will take it up from there. Because three gunas are the root of? Yes, root of all things. Okay.